Well, Super Pre-Release is now done and dusted, and so begins the final stretch of the big wait for the full game to truly release in December. But now some of us are lucky enough to have cards to play with to take the edge off the wait. And so too begins the starter deck format. While some struggle to get one deck at all, there are some other people who were able to get 2 copies of at least one deck, and therefore can upgrade their decks in order to be better off in the starter deck battles for the next 2 months. In this video, I will be talking through how to upgrade and get the best of your worst generation deck. I will be operating on the assumption that you have 2 copies of the deck, and you have a few copies of the promos as well. Also, to be perfectly clear, the free demo decks aren't legal for play. So don't even think about using that stuff in your decks unless it's just for friendlies and use of proxies. They have demo printed across them, and that's how you know you can't use them. Worst Gen was easily the best and most popular choice for Super Pre-Release, and so you could probably expect that to be the same for the starter deck format. As it was the best one straight out of the box, it doesn't need to improve as much as the others, but the additions possible will make it better all the same. The first card I want to think about putting into the deck is the Promo Kid. This is my favourite of the promos. It is pretty good. 3 cost with 4000 power, has counter power, and has the ability, Don times 2, gain double attack. Very good ability in this game right now. Because it has counter power and is low cost, I would say there's no reason not to run this card at 4. Next card I'll turn my attention towards is Basil Hawkins. This card is damn good. As someone who wasn't playing green at Super Pre-Release, I hated this card so much. He was a constant problem for me. So I put him at 4. But do be aware that he has no counter power. And this card here is pretty good as well. It is essentially a 6k attacker that only costed 2 with 1 Don attached, and it's still 5k during the opponent's turn. It's the kind of card that went under the radar during Super Pre-Release because it was only at 2 in the starter deck, so it may be a good one to bump up to 4. Killer is only at 2 in the starter deck, and you can probably stay at 2 now. Could go either way on this one. Removal is nice, but he only hits 3 costs or less that are in rest mode, so not a vital card, but nice to have. Same goes for Straw Sword. It is good to get blockers out of the way, but I don't think you're going to want to bog the deck down with it, so you can leave that one at 2. Trafalgar Law is a great card, and it's as good as playing a card with Rush if you have something good on the board or to switch back to active. I would say put this at 4. Kid is a big card and a pain for the opponent. It doesn't have counter though, and it is an expensive cost at 7, so you aren't going to be able to play it until late game. Probably put this one at 3. And the obvious choice for cards to take out, as usual, are the skillless cards. Another thing you could probably lose if you need the room is Scalpel, as long as you're replacing it with cards that have counter power. As it's just a 2k counter that requires Don to use, it's just a less good scratch mana poop. This is the deck list I've come up for the worst generation. If you're after advice like this on the other 3 starter decks, make sure to subscribe to my channel, Key Lessons, and you can also follow me on Twitter at HackyLessons, and I'll see you soon.